Hi, Victoria.
Hi, Victoria.
This is my uncle Chris. This is the guy that was in the presentation and all of that. He is the person I'm interviewing for my attentive listening skills. So, what are we talking about today?
Well,
Anything you want.
well, we were going to talk about the philosophy of making fighters and then teaching them Krav Maga.
Perfect.
Okay.
So, what's your philosophy on it?
That we should make fighters and then teach them Krav Maga.
Why? And what is the definition of making a fighter? Like, what is the definition of a fighter?
Self-defense only works if you know and you embrace the ability to fight and the ability to be violent. All too often in the self-defense community or whatever you want to call it, people try to sell these quick fixes of just do this and walk away, and it's like the attacker just kind of gives up and they no longer care. When we know from studies and from reality that that's not necessarily the case. So I want to make people comfortable with violence, and I also want to make people very tactically aware and proficient, so that way, should they have to use self-defense, they do it well.
So, would you consider the strike lab the making your fighter?
Yeah. If you know how to strike, you know how to move, you can strike your way out of pretty much any confrontation. But if you can't strike, you can't kick, you can't do anything with power, you can't do it with efficiency, and you're off balance and you're flopping all over the place, you're in no better position than when you started. Oops, my apologies.
Then what's the point of teaching them combos?
So the combinations you can
Is that
use.
just movement?
A lot of its movement is learning how to move the body and generate power and generate good striking energy. However, if you think about it, when I say sparring and I cut everybody loose with gloves and shin guards, if you do the combinations that I've taught you, if you remember the combinations I've taught you, you'll tag someone every single time.
It still has to be given the opportunity. You get to use that one.
Yeah, but you can also create those opportunities.
Like the cowboy at any given moment?
Mm-hmm. Why is that? Because
I know it's the headshot, then the body, so they're going down, and then the kick. Or hook and then kick.
A jab to the face, right straight to the body, left hook to the head, and then a right roundhouse to the head.
I said that.
Yeah.
No, yeah. Like that, you can't.
That was the chair, sorry.
Oh. You can't just do that combo, like, in sparring, just like, all right, spar, okay, I'm going to go straight into the combo.
Yeah, you can.
No, it doesn't work that way.
Look, what do people do when I punch at their face? What's their first instinct?
To move back?
Right. So their head goes back, but where does their body go?
It stays there.
Think about it. If I go like this.
Yeah, your body's moving back.
Yeah,
well, your head's moving back, but your body's staying. Oh, you're leaning?
They're leaning back. So what did they just do to their body?
Exposed it.
They extended it. And what works really, really well?
A body shot.
Right. So I do this, they lean back, wham! I nail them with a liver shot. That means their head comes forward again. Boom, hit them with that left hook, whop, right to the head. Because I hit them with that left hook, their head goes this way, whop, and I bounce them right back with that head kick.
Awesome. I'll make sure to let people know that you told me to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect.
The other part about the combinations is, even if someone's covering up with their hands or with their gloves, right? If I hit their glove hard enough, they're going to hit their own face. So I don't need to make my glove hit their face every single time. I'll just beat the shit out of their gloves and knock their gloves into their own face. Because it's still a hit. Is it going to be the maximum power? No, but each one of those hits does what? What's the reaction when you get hit in the face?
Close my eyes.
Right. Which then gives me the opportunity to what?
Do something else.
Move. Yeah, move, get outside the channel, create, other opportunities. So if you use all the combos that we have in sparring, or once the defense, defense against a straight punch or defense against a round kick, once you use those combos, it's open to you, right? You create your own openings.
So you're making fighters and then training them Krav.
Mm-hmm. Because, all right, so say someone only comes to the strike labs, They only go to strike labs.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. And they get really, really proficient at it. And say they even go to the intermediate strike labs.
The point that I'm coming, if you're teaching someone to be like a hardcore fighter, like we're talking Travis style, like he's gonna fight no matter what. Do you see how difficult it is to teach him Krav once he's in that mindset of I'm a fighter, I'm just gonna fight my way out of this?
Mm-hmm.
It feels like it's been hard to teach him Krav because he's so into the I'm a fighter mode. So why would you want to do that with everyone?
Because, all right, so the thing with like sport fighters, like MMA and boxers and Thai boxers, is that they get in that set of I'm a fighter, so therefore I'm good. Well, I present another problem. For example, look at the jiu-jitsu guys. They come over. They're really fucking good at what they do, right? Mm-hmm. But what did I do?
Made them really uncomfortable once you threw a weapon in there.
Right. So then I show them the value of learning the self-defense side. I show them the value of you're not that good. That a nobody like me can fuck you up really fast if taken your art and I take it out of context.
But see, then again, you only gave them jiu-jitsu. You're like, here, only use jiu-jitsu. He just based it off the jiu-jitsu. If he was allowed to do his MMA jiu-jitsu, don't you think it would have gone a little bit different?
No.
Because like the one you did.
Here's the thing. He doesn't know what to do with a knife. Yeah. Period. His MMA jiu-jitsu is find an opening, get in, engage, get out, re-engage, and so he bounces in and out. What is the premise of self-defense?
Protection of everything.
Do fucking damage and get away.
Yeah.
So if the premise of is to do damage and get away from the person, that gives the complete antithesis of sport. Sport is, I'm going to go in there, I'm going to chance it, I'm going to do everything I possibly can to get a win. I'm going to win because I'm just going to hurt you and I'm going to leave. So there are two different mentalities. He's stuck in one mentality. He's stuck in a mentality of being an MMA fighter and a jiu-jitsu practitioner. Great. Awesome. You can punch me all day long. That doesn't stop me from taking this knife and shoving it through your heart. So he could hit me all day long. Size difference, I can take a punch. I can take quite a few punches. I can take his kicks. Because what he's going to do, he's going to kick at the meaty portions of my leg to try and slow me down. But if I'm really amped up on Mountain Dew, that's not going to bother me one ounce, right? So he has conditioned himself not to hit joints. He's conditioned himself not to gouge eyes, not to bite, not to hit throats, not to do a lot of the things, not to hit the groin. He could have 1,000 opportunities to hit me in the balls, and he will never take it. Why? Because he does not see that window of opportunity. So I don't care how great of a fighter they are. I will I know of ways to make them understand that they are not that great. So what am I going to do is I'm going to make those fighters. I'm going to make people confident in their striking and their movement and their ability to fight through things and their aggressiveness.
Didn't mean to cut you off.
Go ahead.
Sorry, Victoria. Mentality-wise, are you choosing who you're going to teach Krav to? Or are you giving everybody the fair opportunity, even if they're stuck on that I'm a fighter mentality?
Everybody has the fair opportunity, but the thing is that they have got to come to terms with the fact that they're one. All right, think of it this way.
There's Jen.
If all you have is a hammer, everything looks like a nail, right? Well, that's the problem. Travis has a hammer. Boxing. So everything to him looks like a nail. That's not the case, though. Some things are screws. Some things are, glue. Some things are, it's not. That's not the case. And Jen, she comes from an older system of Krav Maga, right? She doesn't understand why. That's why I had to go into such great detail why we've evolved so much and why we do things a certain way, because they don't explain the why there.
So reverse it back. She is strictly Krav Maga. How do you make her into a fighter after that?
Show her that her Krav Maga is shit.
So you would take her back to square one.
Yeah. So basically what I do is I say, all right, cool, you know the defenses, but your combatives are absolutely fucking horrible because you couldn't punch your way out of a wet paper bag.
We saw that yesterday.
Right? So what I do is I go, okay, like the final drill. I was really hoping that you